Welcome to the Mystical Monday. We have made it happen, my friends. There were a couple moments where I wasn't sure if this Mystical Monday would be happening because of electricity outage, but looks like we have it. So hi. I will let everyone have an opportunity to join while I admire Hello, darlings. It is me, Katerina, here with you on a Monday. And I wanted to bring you this conversation, exploration on the power of intention to create our lives. So let me know in the comments who is joining with me. And I wanted to show you, to demonstrate the power of intention through this visual art that I have behind me. Yeah. Because in the past, especially in Lemuria, I like talking about Lemuria a lot. Okay, let me see if I can just, maybe I need to hold it. Hi, Jay, how are you? So when I study ancient civilizations, the ones that we can learn through accessing the soul records of our planet, so such as Lemurians, they were the mother civilization who were seeding humanity before Atlantis. Lemurians were highly evolved, conscious civilization that they were teaching their children through metaphors and art. Lemuria! Hello, glorious beings. Yeah, so I decided to bring some visual aid because when we look at any art piece, we'll look at intention actualized, right? So there was an intention in the artist's eye, and more than anything, yes, first it begins in your mind, but what drives intention to fulfillment is the power of your heart. It's the power of, I want to send a message that is so significant to me that I'm willing to do the work to paint this painting, right? So everybody who sees this creation is transformed. I love that kind of intention, right? It's just so powerful. Welcome. Jay says, just getting ready to start cooking. What you cooking, Jay? Anna, hello, good evening. Good evening to my European community and good afternoon to my American community and anyone in between. But I wanted to talk about intention because, I began realizing the power of intention through just random events, right? I did not know that intention is a thing, right? I grew up with parents who were, just very, very not connected to anything spiritual, right? So there was no principles of creation that were talked in my house. And I felt into, the hidden spiritual mechanism behind this outer reality, and I was on the quest to figure out how this universe works since childhood. So if you're tuning in, I wonder if you could feel the same, right? We start on this quest, and I remember this moment where I began to spontaneously notice that what I think about manifests, and manifests fast. And some of my manifestations were glorious and inspiring, and some manifestations felt like a train wreck, right? So I was starting paying attention to this process, and then when I got into truly onto the spiritual path and began to discover that the universe is this quantum field, right? The fabric of the universe is love, and the universe is kind of like this giant, how would I describe it? the giant boomerang in a way, in the giant receivership, big mirror, right? So it will just continue to reflect to you the quality of your thoughts, the clarity of your intentions. I know Anna Maria is making amazing notes. Thank you so much, dear. Carlos from Peru, yes. Thank you so much for joining. Rebecca, Bobby, I love seeing you here. But this is how it happened for me, darlings. I began to pay attention. I began to realize that the universe is a giant mirror that tirelessly reflects me, the quality of my thoughts, the clarity and precision of my intention, the purity or not so purity of my emotional field, right? And yeah, so let's just start with those three. And of course, fears and doubts and all of those things that we get to purify and cleanse and purge out of our field. But let's start with intention. So intention is an engine of creation. I actually have an audio that I recorded for my community a long time ago about my process that I do devotionally. The first 20 minutes of my day are the most powerful manifestation portal. So when I wake up, right, I always start with appreciation, like deep sense, like full body emotional appreciation, right? Sometimes I wake up and I naturally am there. Like I'm naturally, oh my God, another day, this is magical. And sometimes I wake up and I'm like, oh my God, I'm here again. Oh, I'm back on earth. Okay, we're here again. I want you to know, it's a full spectrum of emotional range, right? So the practice is to get there. The practice is to start your day with filling your heart and your body and your mind with appreciation. It's almost like you turn on an inner engine of your soul that's called appreciation, right? So it's like turning on your car, right? If you live in Midwest and it's in the middle of the winter, you're just not going to turn your car right away, right? You're going to like wipe the tons of snow and heat up your engine. So sometimes on the emotionally low days, it feels like that. We gotta do a lot more inner turning to actually get ourselves to the emotional space where we genuinely feel our heart vibrating gratitude. And a simple tool that I will offer to you that works every single time, no matter where you're at, if you're at a busy, loud, chaotic airport, if you are moving through traffic, if you are waking up in the middle in the morning and you don't feel like yourself. One of my favorite exercises that Divine Mother gave me as a direct practice, she said, imagine there is waves of love, energetic waves of love emanating from the center of your heart. And you begin first to visualize them, right? Practicing your mind ability to see on the inner planes, which is the first secret of alchemist, right? So you begin to see these waves, like imagine like radio waves, but those are your heart chakra waves. And you begin to see them and then you begin to give them color. So the heart chakra often associates with emerald, rich emerald green, but you can make it red, you can make it blue, whatever color feels authentic to you, play with that, right? So you see them, then you assign the color, then you begin to feel, your heart coming online, right? And you begin to spread the waves of your heart to make sure it fills your entire bedroom. And then you can go bigger. Then you say, let me surround my entire neighborhood. Because when we remember there is only one consciousness expressing itself in infinite ways, we are impacting everyone around us. and they are impacting us all the time, right? So if we really, really take on the fifth dimensional consciousness of no separation, you are me, I am you, we are reflecting one divinity in many different forms, then when you do this process and you expand your heart waves and you bless your community, whatever you bless just returns to you like a boomerang. Because the universe is this quantum field says, oh, you're emanating these heart waves. Let me send to you these waves of everything that is love. Yeah, so that's the first practice that I do, beloveds. Before I set intentions, I activate my heart space. This is something that I did not get right away. Why some people are so masterful with manifestation and with intentions, and other people, for them, they never go beyond the mind. It's only a mental exercise, right? Because the heart must be fully engaged, right? You might have heard it, we have to feel it. Yes, absolutely. But how do you activate your feeling nature? By activating the potential of your limitless, boundless heart. So you activate your heart in the morning. That's the first thing that you do. And from that beautiful activated heart space, you ask, what is my deepest desire today? What do I desire to experience? Because we're here for experience, right? We only think that we're here to achieve things, to win some trophies, to buy some cool stuff, to travel. It's all that, but we're really here for experience, right, beloveds? So why don't we just take a direct path and asking your soul, asking your heart, what do I desire to experience today? Aha! Then with that question, you engage entire universe, because the universe is your playmate. Universe provides you a playground every single day. It says, hey, what game do you want to play today? There's basically two main games in the whole world that we see. There's a game of scarcity that a lot of people are very invested in playing because it's familiar, right? It's something that we know, or something that our parents know. And there's a game of prosperity, or the game of abundance, or the game of adventure, or the game of dynamic possibilities. You get to name the game that you want to play. It even rhymes. So, today before I got on this live stream, I was like, I don't know if anything is good going to come through. I'm just feel a little tired today. I'm like, I'm just going to surrender to the process. This is part of the magic. Being a channel, you get to just show up and surrender to the process and see what happens, because it's also a game, right? It's a game of consciousness. But the more I speak about this topic, the more I get lit up from within. Because when we begin to remember, beloveds, this is what in Atlantis and in Lemuria, in all these advanced civilizations where people were deeply connected to their divinity, right? To the elements, to the everything around them. In Lemuria specifically, entire civilization, they shared their emotional awareness with everything around them. So it was impossible for them to harm anyone. Emotionally, physically, psychologically, because they knew if I harm you, I directly harm myself, right? So we're returning to those memories of this elevated way of living, right? And it all starts with returning to the wisdom of the heart. The heart is the portal to the multidimensional awareness. The heart is the doorway to the fifth dimensional consciousness. Okay, I set up my iPad so it holds itself, so I can straighten my spine. Yes, Anna says, I love you. Yeah, it's a surrender. This is the next piece, my loves. Surrendering agendas is the really powerful way to manifest with the cosmic strength of the universe. And this can be very tough to see in ourselves, right? Especially if we grew up in the West, which is highly individualistic society, where, you know, this concept of winning is glorified, right? And so it can be very challenging to see how many hidden agendas we can carry, right? And it taints our connections, it taints our relationships, it taints our business ideas, right? So if you desire to supercharge your intention, surrender is a beautiful cleansing process where when you connect to your heart with that beautiful open space and you say, Divine Spirit, Divine Mother, Divine Father, however you relate to the Great Spirit, right? It's okay, it's perfect, your way. However you relate with God, Goddess, Divine Spirit, great Divine Cosmic Intelligence, I call it Divine Mother. So this is my process, and I say, Divine Mother, this is my deepest desire. This is what I deeply desire to experience. My heart longs for this. And I offer it to you for purification, any of my personal agendas that may get in the way. May this intention come to fruition in your divine way, in your divine timing, for the benefit of all beings, for the highest good of all beings. This is powerful because when we do that, we align our will with the will of the whole, wall. That came out. Basically the will of the divine, right? Which is the will of the whole. The will of the whole. And the will of the whole is way more beautiful, way more powerful, majestic, and incredibly elegant in the way that it meant to fulfill, right? When we say, I would love to be an instrument, and I don't fool myself that I am the doer, right? If I, you know, like, it's a stage of consciousness. I remember when I was thinking I was the doer. I am doing, and creating my reality. And then there was this moment where all of my doing stopped working because Divine Mother gave me a curriculum of how to manifest everything from within. And my actions were as spontaneous movements of the divine artist moving through me. Woo! And life becomes so much more easier, right? So this is the intention, is what do I desire to experience? And then I intended to speak a bit about self-doubt. Sometimes we hold very strong intention, we surrender, and we make our moves, and suddenly, out of the blue, these waves of self-doubt or waves of confusion, and you begin to wobble, right? You begin to wobble, like, yesterday I was so clear, and today I am not clear. Oh my gosh, the divine abandoned me? Have I lost all of my mystical, magical gifts? Right? The wobble is normal. The wobble can come. So when the wobble comes, you simply get to remember to wait. Wait to return to balance. This is why awareness is so key, right? So we wobble when our minds become too filled with information. A lot of times when so much information is coming our way and we don't take the time to empty it out, right? Through, for me, I empty out my mind every morning when I journal. I have tons of journals, so this is one of them. My journals are everywhere. So I journal, and it's my way of processing my thoughts and to kind of like emptying them out, and I can see them. I'm like, oh, wow. That sentence is actually brilliant. I'm going to turn it into a headline of my program. That sentence, wow, my inner child is suffering. Wow. So you really can see what's going on within you, right? And when before the wobble comes, you kind of continually looking inside your mind to see what's happening, and you emptying. And then meditation. However you meditate, whatever, because there is so many ways to meditate, right? Some people will chant first and open their heart chakra, and then they go into silence. Some people can go into silence right away. For me, darlings, I gotta run. Like, I move physically and activate my body, and then I meditate, right? So it just depends. Everyone is so unique. You just gotta find your way. But I find one of the major gifts of meditation helps us increase awareness. When we sit with everything what is, we become more aware. And when we become more aware, we notice the answers for our intentions. So when we intend something and we call something in, universe is so rapid. Universe is so fast of answering our intentions. A lot of times we don't recognize them. We don't have the eyes to see. We don't have the ears. We're running somewhere, right? Driven by our agendas, right? It's true. So why meditation is so important? It helps us become more aware. So we recognize our serendipitous answers. The universe loves answering our intentions through serendipity, through increased synchronicity, right? That's why we love when we see these magical repeating numbers, 333, 555, 777, right? Universe is playing with us. Universe is our playmate. It's playing with us. Or it will give us or send us a bird. You know, today I saw a butterfly. So the butterflies are here in the summer. This house where I live right now, I call it the house of transformation, house of wholeness, and butterflies are the key almond here. They just flood this house, and hummingbirds as well, but a lot of butterflies. So today, since today is still spring, the first butterfly came to the yoni tree that I have. I have a yoni tree in the background that looks like it's like this grandmother tree, goddess tree in my backyard. So the first butterfly came, and because I trained my mind to decode every symbol, being on a shamanic mystical path, right? You open your mystical eyes, and the eyes of the mystic, they're the eyes that see magic and see beauty and see support. So the eyes of the mystic, the reason I call this transmissions Mystical Mondays is to remind all of us to choose on Monday, on the first day of the week, to choose to see our reality through the mystical, magical, mythic eyes, right? Where we begin to notice the omens and the symbols and the support that is always coming towards us. There is abundance of support, abundance of guidance. Our only job is to increase awareness. Increase awareness so we actually recognize it, right, beloveds? This is why every time you meditate or you chant or you sit and admire a flower, you know, it took me years before I could enter meditation. My mind was too overactive. I was diagnosed with ADHD and all of these labels. I had a brain injury at 25 years old. I fell on the marble floor. I forget to tell you this story, but I had a serious brain injury that actually activated a lot of my mystical gifts. At 24 years old, I was a train wreck, okay? I was so lost, and I was deeply asleep, of course. I shut down all of my awarenesses because I felt misunderstood. I felt like if I don't shut down my sensitive spiritual side, I'm just not gonna make it. I'm not gonna survive. So in order to survive, I shut down all my sensitivity and I just became this rebel. So 23 to 26, I just, yeah, 27, I just was flying off all the rockets. So 24, I was on the cruise ship with a lover, and I fell. And I fell, and I fell face down on the marble floor and lost my consciousness. It was just an awful experience, beloveds. Divinely sent to me, right? But I had this brain injury, right? That really shook my ability to focus, and I started experiencing all these ADHD symptoms. So for me to jump straight into meditation was a big ask. I couldn't do it, even though I understood the importance of it. But what I could do, I could admire beauty. And intuitively, I found my way to my present moment through admiring beauty, through being with nature, through watching flowers. You know, I love flowers so much. I surround myself with flowers. But why? Because they feed your soul, right? They open your heart. They touch something eternal in you. So let's plant more flowers and admire more beauty. But this is the power of when you think about intention. If the universe is our playmate, if the universe wants you to experience everything that you deeply desire, right? The only request from the universe is become aware enough to notice it, right? So how do we increase awareness? And even if we increase awareness 10% a week, right? Even if it's at 10% a week, you become more present when you notice yourself that, oh my goodness, I am talking to my beloved, but I am not here. I'm talking to my child, but I'm thinking about my business, right? So then we're missing answers from the universe. So I went on a shamanic journey once. You know, I work with ayahuasca for many, many years, beloveds. This is my number one teacher plant. And in one of the journeys, she showed me kind of like in a fast moving, really like accelerated, like if you watch a movie at 100 speed. So this fast shifting scenes, and the message from my guides came through that if you move too fast, you miss all the signs. And it was so powerful for me that all of our guides, our spirit guides, the masters of light that are working with us, right? Who are supporting our spiritual missions, who are supporting our direction in life, because they know how important this incarnation is for everybody who is awake. Everybody who is awake is deeply, influences the fabric of reality, right? So the spirit guides are here with you to support you. But if we move too fast, we miss all the signs, we miss the answers, we miss synchronicity, we miss serendipities. So it's really all about how can I, when I find myself wobbling and I'm doubting myself, I'm doubting my gifts, I'm doubting my direction, instead of being fearful of the doubt, it's a sign. A doubt is a friend. A doubt is a sign that you get to increase your awareness. What do you get to do to increase your awareness? Sometimes just going for a good massage is the number one thing to increase your awareness, right? You know, darlings, when I find myself in confusion or doubt or overwhelm, I immediately schedule a Thai massage. Immediately, right? I go to a qualified, skilled body worker. And what they do, they take you out of your head, back into your body, where the body begins to release the answers that you seek. It's always been in the body, right? And the same thing with breath work. You know, I just recently connected to the breath work. being aware of that practice for years, never really connecting to it. And then when the time was right, I was like, boom, now it's ready. And now it's taking conscious breaths taking conscious breaths. And to me, it's an intimacy with my higher self. Every conscious breath I take, I feel intimacy with my soul. So it's really, really beautiful, beloveds. So when we start reframing these fearful states, like self-doubt or anxiety, right? When we start looking at them differently, from the eyes of benevolence, not as a burden, but as, wow, it's a secret teacher that is here. Okay, I wanted to keep this short. But it's like, self-doubt is like the secret teacher that is telling you you're wobbling. You lost your balance. That's why you doubt yourself. Because when we're clear, we trust our capacity. When we're clear, we know that all we are required is just live one day well. Tomorrow doesn't exist. We always have one day at a time, right? Only one day at a time. So that's what I've noticed, darlings. Doubt definitely will mess with your manifestation, because manifesting and doubting is like keeping your foot on the gas and on the brake at the same time. You can't move forward. That is why when you notice yourself doubting your dreams and doubting your manifestation, just say, oh, it's a signal. I am wobbling. I'm going to go center myself. I'm going to open my heart again. I'm going to find a way to surround myself with beauty, even if it's just looking at a flower for 10 minutes, right? I'm going to go play. And then you recalibrate. You come back to your center and refocus on your intention. Refocus on your intention. So a lot of times, that's the final piece that I'll share with you, is the power of focus. And no, I really don't believe in this mental story that people say, oh, I am just like a squirrel. I am just like a squirrel. I get distracted, and I say to this share, you don't have big enough why. And you don't have a clear and compelling enough vision. Because when you're on fire with your vision, you are ultra focused. You are hyper focused. So it all starts with why this intention is important, who you want to become, what do you desire to experience, what do you desire to create, and then the vision, right? Sitting down with your vision on a daily basis, beloveds. Does it take discipline? You better believe it. But I've never, ever met anybody who created something truly remarkable in their lives who didn't stay connected to their vision. They actually connected to their vision to the level of obsession, right? Like an artist. In order to create this level of art, you get to be obsessed with art. You get to be okay with some canvases not looking like anything like art, right? You get to be okay of letting go of some canvases, destroying some, wasting some canvases. But every wasted canvas is a step to your masterpiece, right? This is the game that you get to play, get to choose, or you can choose to play, because it's all a game, right, beloveds? It's all a game of consciousness. So we can beat the drum. It is hard. I'm afraid of failure. Oh my goodness, what if it doesn't work? We can beat that drum, and that's available always. Or we can beat the drum of celebration. Oh, one more day, I can become 10% more aware. I can become 10% more kinder, more tender in my heart, more brave, right? And I get to just play with a new canvas. I'm gonna play with this side of my creativity, or with this side of my creativity, right? I'm gonna try this expression or that expression. And while I'm experimenting with all these ways, I am guided by the soul of my mission, by the soul of my vision, that whispers in my ear the next step to take. And because I am aware, I can recognize the voice of my vision. And I can trust it, and I can take just one step forward. That's the power of intention, beloveds. That's the power of intention. Living intentionally is beautiful. If you're around me And if you ever drive with me in the car, you will know I will be like driving with you and be like, thank you, angels, for giving us a parking spot over there. Thank you so much for protecting us on the road. I will not move anywhere without intention. I get in my car, intention is set to arrive safely, to enjoy the journey. I get on the plane, intention is set to arrive safely. Literally intentional about everything. And when I don't practice that intention, I feel it. I feel the sense of, that thing lacked intention on my part, and I can see the difference. You know what I mean? So sometimes you try it both. You're like, these intentions, I'm just gonna be like in my flow, and then you realize, well, you were given an ability to focus. You were given an ability to create with your mind for a reason. Might as well to learn the full range of your ability to create with your focus, and then with energetic power of your heart that draws everything. It's almost like your mind for me always feels like your inner masculine that is very focused, that is reaching out, and the heart is like where your inner feminine is, and magnetize everything to you, right? And the body is a temple, your temple for both. Your body is a house of both your inner feminine and your inner masculine. And when they both begin to play, we start valuing our logic and our intuition, our passion and our reason, our doing and our being, right? We create harmonious and sustainable results in our life, and we begin to live a life that people say, how are you doing all of this, right? And it's really, really powerful. So I wanted to make this brief. I hope you are inspired to move with intention this week, to believe in the beauty of your dreams, and to know that your heart is truly powerful, and it gets to be kind of like turned on and activated every morning, right? Don't expect that every morning you wake up and you are in that activated, full of love state. That's quite unrealistic, right? Sometimes you wake up and you are there, and you are in your bliss and your joy and your radiance, and sometimes for any kind of reason you're not there, and that's okay, but you know how to get there by using the tools that I gave you in this live stream, right? How I start, the 20 minutes that I start every day, and then throughout the day I ask myself, what else do I want to experience? What else do I want to experience? I love you so much, beloveds. I am so happy that we were able to do it, because next Monday I will not be able to be on a Mystical Monday, as I am going into my shamanic retreat, and I am going to be with my great spirit, my great teacher, plant teacher, Mama Aya. So I will be away, but I will see you in a week. I love you so much, and please feel free to share this live stream. I always say, if you feel like this will benefit your communities, anything I post online is, you can freely share. And thank you so much for your exquisite presence. I love you, love you, love you. Be blessed, and may this week be intentional. Let's get more aware together. 10%? Oh, do we go for 20%? All right, I will see you very soon.